Most budget phones don't slow down randomly. They slow down by design. Not because companies want them to fail, but because they're engineered to hit a price, not to maintain performance indefinitely. And that difference shows up around month 6. When you first unbox a $400 phone, it feels quick. Apps open fast, scrolling is smooth, the camera responds instantly. For the first few weeks, everything feels right. Then usage increases. Storage fills, apps update, background services expand, the operating system evolves, and the margins start shrinking. The first pressure point is memory. You'll see 6 GB or 8 GB of RAM and assume it's enough. And at launch, it is. But Android today is heavier than Android 2 years ago. Apps consume more memory, background syncing is constant, cloud services, AI features, security layers, they all sit in RAM. So the same hardware that felt comfortable at launch slowly operates closer to its limit. When RAM pressure rises, the system compensates. It closes background apps more aggressively, it refreshes processes more often, it prioritizes foreground tasks. That's why multitasking feels weaker months later. Not because the phone got old, because the headroom disappeared. Now look at storage, and this is where most people misunderstand the spec sheet. Storage size is marketing. Storage speed is performance. Two phones can both say 128 GB. That tells you nothing about how quickly data moves. Budget phones often use slower storage standards to reduce cost. Slower read speeds, slower write speeds. When the phone is new and mostly empty, you don't notice. But as storage fills, photos, videos, cache data, app updates, the controller works harder. Slower storage under sustained load becomes a bottleneck. App launches take longer, system updates feel heavier, file indexing takes more time. The processor may still be capable, but it's waiting on slower storage. That delay compounds. Then comes heat. Most mid-range chips today are powerful enough for daily use, but performance isn't defined by peak speed. It's defined by sustained speed. Budget phones typically have smaller cooling solutions, no vapor chambers, minimal heat spreaders, thin internal layouts to save cost and space. Under sustained use, gaming, extended video recording, navigation in warm environments, temperatures rise. And when temperatures rise, the processor protects itself. Clock speeds drop, power output decreases, performance stabilizes at a lower ceiling. You don't notice it as a dramatic slowdown. You notice it as inconsistency. Frame rates fluctuate, scrolling feels less fluid. That's not aging. That's physics meeting cost limitations. Now add software updates. New Android versions introduce more background services. They are optimized first for flagship hardware, so each update narrows the performance margin further, closer to the edge, closer to feeling heavy. Budget phones are designed around cost ceilings, not longevity ceilings. Engineers make deliberate trade-offs. Slightly slower storage, tighter thermal design, less RAM headroom, lower sustained performance thresholds. None of those choices ruin the device. They simply reduce the performance buffer over time. The phones that age well usually share a pattern. They have extra memory headroom, they use faster storage standards, they maintain better sustained thermals, they run cleaner software with less bloat. Not the biggest camera number, not the boldest marketing claim, not the loudest chipset branding. Balance determines how a phone feels after real usage, and real usage is what exposes design decisions. The mistake most buyers make is evaluating a phone based on week 1 performance, but week 1 is controlled. Month 6 is reality. If your phone feels heavier now than it did at launch, that's not imagination, it's headroom disappearing. If this breakdown changed how you evaluate budget phones, subscribe. Most reviews focus on first impressions. I focus on how devices age, because how something performs in month 6 matters more than how it feels on day 1.